motherfucking pod.
So the word motherfucker is a noun. It describes a person, place, or thing.
What up, motherfuckers? This is Mr. Headquarters of the motherfucking crew. You already know what it is. It's another featured episode here on the motherfucking podcast. This time, as you already know, I'm in HQ representing. We have a very, very special guest. We have Jock Johnson from the Jock Johnson Podcast. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of the Mississippi IA. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Coming representing,
Yes,
coming over, linking up with the 504, man. Jock, thank you for coming through, bro. Appreciate the time. Let the people know where they can find your podcast, bro.
Hey, y'all can check me out on IG at the Real Jock Johnson. Of course, I'm on all platforms. I'm on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you name it, man. I'm out there. So y'all check the podcast out. Of course, you can check out the group podcast. The episodes are still out there. They're still available on all the platforms. So check it out.
No doubt, man. And also you can catch this featured episode as well on the motherfucking pod.com. Make sure y'all download and like and share that motherfucker. It's going to be available on all podcast platforms. It will also be available on YouTube, such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and the Black Podcast app. So with that being said, Jock, you know what I'm saying? You representing Mississippi. It was meant to be, bro. We've been trying to, like I was saying before this the show started, we've been trying to get this together for a minute. Both our schedules been crazy. Y'all podcast has been great. We've been listening to y'all since last year. We appreciate y'all linking up with us. I want to get into a little bit real quickly. So people that don't know about your podcast, y'all have two versions of your show, right? You have the full episode where it's you in the main cast of your show, and you also have a solo version. How's that been going off right now? I know y'all been doing kind of like the solo version lately, last couple.
Actually, the solo podcast I've been doing this started in January. I did an advertisement back in September of last year,
right,
about doing a solo project, and right now that's the only thing that's going. Hadn't got together with the group with the group show because we took some time off from it, but I'm looking forward to eventually bringing it back. But right now, the solo project is pretty much what I'm focused on right now, and it's doing pretty well. So,
knowing what you know now in the field that you're doing in the podcasting world and in business in general, what kind of game would you give to your younger self at 18 to 21 of game to say, you know what, this is one thing I would do if I knew this at that age?
Well, I'll tell you what, man, I wish I could have been doing this shit a lot earlier. I had this conversation a couple of days ago about if I could have known about this about 15 years ago.
Right.
You know, about podcasting. I mean, the shit was probably out there a little bit, but you know, as far as us as black people,
oh yeah,
you know, we
was like, that shit weird. What is podcast?
Right. Yeah. So you know, the white people, man, they was on their shit, you know, just like you think about your Howard Sterns and all that shit, man.
And they were trying to hide that shit.
Yeah. But if I could have known about this shit 15 years ago, maybe, man, where I probably could have been now. But things happen when they're supposed to happen. For any the upcomers and all, especially, man, you know, whatever it is you want to do, but especially with this podcast thing, man, keep working at it. If you're determined to do it, don't think about the money. Okay, I know you're gonna think about money and all that shit. I know a lot of them do, because I've had that question asking me, man, you make money doing it? You know, that's the first thing they say, you know, man, you make money. It's about the passion about doing this shit. It's about the passion of having the passion of doing what you love doing. And I love doing it. I talk about this all the time. I love doing it. Don't give up on your dreams, man. Don't never give up on them. I still have dreams. You know, I still think about this shit in my sleep, man, because this is what I love doing. It keeps me grounded.
Yeah.
But as you were saying, man, the game of it, man, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot in the past 3 years, and I've been doing this shit 3 years now. May 26 made 3 years. I've learned a lot, and I'm still learning.
How many episodes y'all in right now overall?
Well, with the solo project, I've done 15. Now with the group show, I've done 85 shows. 85. And it's actually
shows,
more
man.
than that. Some of them we scrapped out. A lot of them we scrapped out because we didn't think, it was, what we needed to put out. It was some shows, man, you probably wouldn't want to hear. It's some shit on them now. But the thing with the group show too, since we kind of speaking on that, we have to make adjustments, man, as a group. And I love the crew. I love them. There's nothing changed no more. We hadn't been doing any shows. But you have to look ahead. You have to try to advance a little bit more. You have to change it up, man. Because a lot of the shit, man, if you listen to them, and this shit was coming off the dome. It wasn't nobody writing or doing none of that shit.
Right.
I probably would jot some notes down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to have some more structure. You got to have structure with this shit, man. That's one of the important things to me now, since I've been doing this shit by myself, is, everything that I've done so far in these past 15 episodes, I got a box. I've got a box where I've been writing my shit down, and I got a file. I keep a file. So somebody come back and say, well, you said this, you said, no, I got this shit right here. This is what I fucking said right here.
Full of receipt.
I got it right here.
They disagree.
Yeah. They disagree. I got it right here. So I've gotten a lot smarter. I've got more knowledgeable about how I want to do things too, man, and learning a lot more. And if it's somebody on, that I've befriended doing this shit over time, I ask questions, man. And it's up to them whether or not they want to tell me or not. Because a lot of motherfuckers, they ain't gonna want to tell you nothing, especially if they see you trying to, and you looking more promising with your shit. Because people out here, man, that hate.
Yeah,
and
there's a lot of hate out.
There's a lot of hate out there.
There's so much money to be made in the podcasting game for everybody. There's no shortage of it. That's the point. Right. I always look at it. I never look at it because I had this conversation with another podcaster. Unfortunately, it was a lost episode, and I'm sure you had lost episodes like that where you got to hit the record button, or technical difficulties or whatever.
I've had that so many times,
but this is one of them, and we had a dope conversation. But they was concerned about giving away too much, and I'm like, well, I can understand pointing your narrative in a certain kind of light, but I never felt like withholding information from somebody as far as the way I done it. At first, I ain't gonna lie, when I first started doing it, because it kind of felt kind of weird, and that's how I kind of knew we was at least doing something right. When people start asking you how you do this, how you do that, at least I feel like now, okay, I must be doing something kind of in the right direction. But when I started doing that, I wanted to make sure it kind of made me want to give more information. Like, all right, well, I kind of do this, I do that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I kind of looked at it and I was like, damn, why would you want to hold back anything? You know what I'm saying? Because you never know who might be able to come help you out in tenfold on the opposite end, later down the line, because you never know who you really going to need. Especially even in podcasting. I mean, there's no need to, because one person I talked to, they looked at it, was like, oh, this is kind of like the music game. Oh, it's not.
That's what they think.
No, it's not. It is not like, you don't have people telling you what you have to do. Podcasting can be whatever the fuck you want it to be. If you want to talk about music, if you want to talk about weed, if you want to talk about bitches, you can talk about all that stuff.
Somebody's listening and watching. You best believe that shit, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. Shit, we've been getting people that watch this, watch our YouTube or listen from another country. Never thought we could put together something that other people would consume and actually enjoy it. But here we are. You know what I'm saying?
That's just like with our group show when I first started this shit back in 2019. I was a part of Anchor. We just getting started out. We wanted to, the shit was free. You know what I'm saying? It was free.
Right.
But we had 15 different countries listening to this shit, man. 15 different countries. Bro, that shit blew my mind. That's what really drove me to really want to continue doing what I'm doing, man. And I started loving this shit, man. Back in, I think it was 2020, got an email telling us that, in our category, and we was like ranked 157. That shit was like, and I was like, you know what? You think about all the fucking podcasts out here, and we rank 157. This shit fucked me up, man.
There's
But
thousands
yeah,
of podcasts out there.
yeah. But I love doing it. I've said it so many times now. I've said it here tonight, man. I love doing this shit. It's a passion that I love doing. Just like with you guys, man, bro. This is what you love doing. Keep doing this shit, man. I'm supportive of you.
Absolutely.
I'm supportive of all of the podcasters, man, out here, because this shit is not easy, man. Because every week you got to come with some different shit, or you're gonna start sounding like a broken record.
Absolutely.
You got to switch it up. Just like with me with the solo project, man, I'm fixing to start bringing a lot more guests on.
Yeah.
That's the goal, to bring more guests from all ethnic backgrounds. I'm not, I'm all over the place, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to bring everybody on this motherfucker. I'm going to talk. I want to get their opinions and, thoughts on certain issues and shit, man. And it's going to get even better. I got a lot of plans. And just like with the group show, I would love for the group show to come back, bring it back. I would love to bring it back. I've talked about this on another interview. I would like to bring it back, but we got to be on the same agenda.
Right.
Everybody got to be on the same agenda, man. We got to be on the same slate, man. We got to, my thing is putting in the work and writing, man. Get some structure, a lot more structure to this shit. I want it to be a lot better, man, because I've vision. My thing is with the group show, I want it to be on a sort of like the Breakfast Club thing. You know what I'm saying? On some shit like that.
Right.
That's the vision I had for the show.
Yeah.
And there's so come back.
Ways you can do it. There's so many different ways you can do this. You can do a morning style, an evening show, a late night show. There's so many different ways. And not to mention how you can actually put it out there. You can put it out in 10-minute form, 20, 30, 40. The only limitation that you really have is what you can put in your head and say, I can't do it or I can't. Because everybody got situations. If you got a job and you working 12-hour shifts and shit like that, trust me, it's gonna get hard and tired. You can be like,
it is, man.
Put out a 5-minute show. I would always say, if you really want to do this, you'll find some kind of way to get it done. Especially if you're trying to, especially if you're thinking about getting started. Do not sit there and just sitting there overthinking it and saying like, oh, I think I should do this. Just get out there and start recording that shit. Start talking in front of that motherfucking camera. If you got somebody that's willing to do it with you, start talking with them. Just don't be afraid to stop. Don't be afraid to not get started. Because I think that's what kind of stopped me originally, because I had this concept to do this maybe back in 2017, 2018. And I didn't finally actually go through with it until 2020. That's when our first podcast went off during the pandemic. So if it wasn't for the pandemic, I think if I didn't slow my thinking down, you know what I'm saying, I don't know if I would have got started. But
a lot of podcasts came about during that time too. A lot of podcasts came about during the pandemic because people was locked in. They couldn't. I mean, we couldn't do shit. I mean, you was in the house. Motherfuckers were getting tired of watching Netflix and shit. So, you know, they started doing podcasts and doing damn TikTok too.
People got tired of looking at their spouse all day.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I used to be in my fucking walk-in closet, man, doing shit. You know, rehearsing. This is no shit. My wife can tell you, man. I had fucking cords and shit running all over the fucking place. You were like, yo, burn this motherfucker up, man.
Hey, I'm glad you brought that up. Cause look, if another great thing to know is if you want to do a podcast, make sure people can hear your shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because like that's the number one thing. If people can't hear what you're saying, they're gonna turn that shit off. And
turn it off, man.
And the one thing I learned, and it was also kind of a challenge too, is because if you ever get a chance to go back and listen to our original shows, our first 10 shows,
man,
or even our first 5 shows, you can really hear where we came from. Because I think maybe like episode 2 or no, maybe 3 or 4, I recorded that shit in a car because I was deployed. I was on a deployment for a hurricane mission, and we had hurricane duty going on in Louisiana, and we was going out helping other people in another I think I was in Lake Charles. I was in Lake Charles when Lake Charles got hit, and I had to fucking record from the car while on duty. I was off duty at the time. I was like, you know what, fuck it, I got my phone, I got my partners on the phone. We gonna record this some kind of way. And I sat there and I edited the whole entire show on my phone, on my iPhone. So if there's a way to do it, and if you have a mission and you have some kind of follow through, and you know you want to get through it, we always talk about the hustle mindset. Get that motherfucker done. And that was one way I had to make sure. Like you said, you had to do it in your fucking in your closet. Hey, if that's the only quiet place to go to, fuck it. Get it done.
Fuck it. Hey, you know, that's just like with the group thing, man. We started out with the cell phone in the fucking bed, laying in the fucking bed. And we crowded around this motherfucker like we having a prayer meeting. But
man, look,
we had to get it, man. We were determined to do that shit, man.
That's how
I definitely was determined, man.
What was it? Do y'all remember your first topics? Do you remember any of y'all first topics? Yeah.
We started out, actually, when we first started doing this shit, we started out on sports. It was right during the NBA finals and all that shit.
Right.
And we was actually supposed to have been doing, it was pretty much supposed to have been a sports show.
Okay.
That shit turned one day. It turned because, and it gave me this vision. We did a show. We talked about sports. And after we got through with the show, guys were just sitting around talking shit, you know. We were just joning. You know how motherfuckers be joning and going on. So it popped in my head right then. It was like, man, you know what? Y'all all over the place, man. We ought to do the shit. Call it the All Out Show. And that's what it turned into. And the All Out Show turned in, it was really, like I said, we didn't have any structure with this shit, man. We were just talking. We was feeding off each other. We would talk about something, you know, that's happened or going on, and we'll feed off it, and we will make that shit funny. We'll make it funny as hell. And that's why it turned out the way it did, the All Out Show.
Yeah.
Man, I go back, I listen to some of those shows now. I still listen to that shit. I go back and listen to them, man. I'm like, man, dude, this shit was funny as hell, but I saw it. I could improve this shit. You know, I can make it better.
Right.
We can make it better as a team. And we end up doing 85 shows, over 85 shows. I think we've done over 105 shows, you know. But some of them we scrapped out because we didn't think they were good enough. But
I've been there before because as far as like missed shows. Like I put out a show that you was like, you know what? If you feel on the fence about it, you don't like it, you can always scrap it and try again. Yeah. I've been there. I put out a few episodes in the beginning and we was like, what the fuck we was talking about? And some of our other friends that used to come and record with us used to always love fucking Crown. And I used to sit there and be like, man, how the fuck are y'all drinking Crown?
That's what I say too, man. That shit tastes like furniture polish, man.
A topic would just come up out of the blue like that. You're like, man, how the fuck you just drinking that nasty ass motor oil shit?
That shit nasty, man. Talking about, to me, personally, that shit tastes like furniture polish, man. I don't like that shit.
Crown? Yeah, I don't
like it.
I will say I can do Crown Apple. That's the only type of Crown I can.
That's the only one I can drink.
I can
My
do
boy
Crown
Jay
Apple
Slick.
straight.
He brought some Crown Apple over one night. Yeah. I almost drank this shit up, man.
I could do that. See, like for me, coming up, my number one drink was always Hennessy. I can drink Hennessy, either Hennessy or tequila. Either one of those two, I can just drink that all night long. Like it's in nothing.
I'm a vodka drinker. I drink vodka.
Really? What kind of vodka?
Vodka, man. At one point, I was drinking the fucking Grey Goose.
Yeah.
I was drinking the Absolute.
Oh shit! All right.
Now I'll drink Western Sun, the Texas vodka.
Sun. Okay, I never heard of
Western Sun. That's some good shit. I actually mix the the lemonade they have at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Oh, you mix it with that?
Mix it. Yeah, that shit is dope, man.
Okay.
Dope. Now the Simply lemonade, where they sell in the grocery stores. Yeah. That's some good shit to go with it too.
Now, what about some struggle alcohols back when the money was a little tight? You know what I'm saying? But we still gotta get the party.
You talking about gas? You talking about drinking fucking gas? Motherfucking unleaded all day.
Look, fresh out of high school and getting into the military. We definitely was picking up whatever the fuck we could. One in particular I'll never forget was MD 2020 Banana Red.
That shit would tear your ass up, bro.
Now
that shit, man.
I didn't understand that. I didn't understand
all that Freddy Krueger.
I didn't understand all the things that the do's and the don'ts that you should not be drinking. You know what I'm saying? Especially no matter what. Nobody should be drinking MD until I started seeing all the winos outside the gas station drinking that. And I was like,
what you say? I should be sitting right there with them.
I probably shouldn't be drinking this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Drinking that shit, man. Hey, but you had to get out. You lived it.
You had to learn.
Yeah.
I learned quick. Trust me.
Look, I'm going to say this too, man. So we talking about the old time with drinking and shit.
Yeah.
Bro, Magnum. That was the worst fucking experience. Magnum, the beer, Magnum. If you can remember that shit. Yeah. Some shit they call Magnum.
What it look like? What color?
And I'm not talking about PI neither. I'm not talking about Tom Selleck. That shit, man, over.
I never heard of that one. Damn. Is that
Magnum, man?
Okay.
Look that shit up.
I'm gonna look it up.
That shit up. That shit, man, fucked me up. Man, I almost had to go to the hospital.
Oh shit.
Because of the bad headache it gave me. And I can remember my uncle, man, telling me, you shouldn't be drinking that cheap ass beer. I didn't want to hear that shit because I was hurting.
You get what you pay for. If you get cheap liquor, be looking for a quick headache.
Yeah. Horrible.
One last thing, I'll never forget. This girl was trying to impress me. And we was like back in the same time. We was fresh out of high school. And this girl was trying to get my attention. She came over and she never was a big drinker, but she knows she wanted to hang out with all of us and stuff like that. Knowing damn well she was not supposed to be, she didn't know nothing about drinking. She just turned old enough to be even by herself. So her silly ass got She went and got some night train. She
Oh
went and
my
bought
God.
night train, and after like a couple sips, she was gone. She was told the fuck up. Like we had to drive her home. She was done. I'm like,
Done.
please don't look for any of y'all young people that might be listening to this shit. Don't just don't be gonna pick up some regular shit, some cheap shit. Make sure you actually get some. If you got a few dollars, get the right shit. You know what I'm saying? Get some stuff that you actually heard of. Don't get no MD. Don't get no Mad Dog. Don't get no Night Train. Don't get no what's the name of it again? What was
the
it called?
Magnum and all that shit.
Yeah, don't get
Magnum
the
and
Magnum beer, bro. Don't get that. It's gonna fuck you up.
yeah, that should have fucked you up. Hey, you get what you pay for.
Absolutely.
Just get some good shit. Just save your money up, man, and get some good shit because, man, I'm telling you, you gonna pay for it if you get some cheap shit. You're
Look,
gonna get just what you paid for.
I'm about to say I have no problem paying for the top shelf sometime here and there. If it's Don Julio, if it's tequila, it's Don Julio. If it's brown liquor, I'm drinking Hennessy most likely. If it's a downgrade from that, I might be drinking some E&J.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But
get shit that you know about though.
exactly.
Just yeah.
Or you can just stick to weed. Fuck. I mean,
Yeah.
save your liver, just you know what I'm saying, go to the lungs. But do you eat pork or swine, anything like that?
Man, look, that's the shit I'm trying to stay away from, because when you raised up on that shit, that's what you're gonna eat,
Exactly.
But as you get older, man,
Your stomach.
I look at health.
Yeah.
A lot of us don't pay attention to that shit. We're like, man, fuck this, I'm hungry, I'm freaking to eat this shit. Fuck that. I'm gonna die some kind of way. And people think like that,
True. Convenience.
But yeah. So all the fast food shit, that shit is no good, man.
Oh,
it's no good at all.
Fast food is getting worse and worse as we go.
Yeah. So I try to stay away from that shit as much as possible. I noticed that with bacon, I noticed since I've eased off of eating that shit, I don't have no headaches. I was starting to get headaches, man. I would, fix breakfast in the morning fix me a little breakfast before I go to work.
Right.
And I would have some grits or some oatmeal like that. But I had to have that fucking bacon, man. I had to have a couple pieces of bacon.
The last time I was in Jackson was a couple years back. I was out there for work, and I saw, and funny enough, I came out there and there was I was watching TV, and they had the Food Network was on, and I can't remember. I'm blanking on the guy name that used to travel to different cities and stuff like that for food and stuff, but he had went to Jackson. And he was talking about the different delicacies out there in Jackson and all that good stuff. And that's when I first found out about the pig ears out there in Jackson. And it was kind of like just like any other thing. It was like, pig feet, pig ears, pig
lips.
You know what I'm saying? If you black and you live in the South, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Your family, your grandma and them probably had some kind of pickled pig something, you know what I'm saying, was pig knuckle or something. You know what I'm saying? But how do y'all do you enjoy a pig ear? Because I never tried. I never got a chance to try it. Because I know there's only at a select few places. Tell some people out there how it is out there, because I gotta get my hands on it. I gotta at least try it. Because
the pig ears.
Yeah.
Look, it's been a long time since I had some pig ears. But when I was younger, I had an aunt. She's transitioned on. She used to call to the house and tell me that she had some because I liked it. She cooked the hell out of them. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, I was putting fucking hot sauce on them, man, and I was loading the shit up with hot sauce, man. But they were good.
Now, I would say, does it taste similar to pig lips? Because that's what the one thing I used to always eat was pig lips down.
I've ate that too. I've had pig lips too. I've had them too. Actually, I think the pig lips were a lot more better to me than the pig ears, because the pig lips had it had some parts on it where it had a little bit more, it had some meat in there,
Yeah.
But the pig ears, they were pretty good. But I prefer the pig lips though before for the pig ears, man. Now, no, we need that shit, man. No.
Look, I'm with you about the healthy eating. I try to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said,
It's hard, man. It's hard.
I had some
It's
bacon
hard,
today. I ain't give no two fucks about thinking about health when I ate it. And I knowing damn well I'm gonna feel that shit later. But in that moment, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
But one thing for certain down here in New Orleans, I'm sure you've been down to New Orleans at least a few times before, right?
Yeah.
And I gotta ask, have you ever tried a po' boy? And what kind?
No, I hadn't. I hadn't tried the po' boy.
So now, one thing out of New Orleans and Louisiana in general that is hard to find, you might be able to find in certain parts of Mississippi. I never heard nobody say that they have. So I'm gonna say it's only part of Louisiana. But a hot sausage patty, hot sausage patties, a hot sausage po' boy, and a shrimp po' boy. Now you can get a shrimp po' boy from other places, but a hot sausage po' boy, I've never seen it outside of the state of Louisiana. So if you had to choose between the two, which one you choosing? A hot sausage po' boy or a shrimp po' boy?
Well, I'm more familiar with shrimp, so it's probably gonna be the shrimp. It's probably gonna be the shrimp, man.
Now look, now EJ the DJ was one of our other co-hosts.
Right.
He wasn't able to make it, but now he has been always he rep hot sausage po' boys every day, all day long. And that's good. That's great. It is a good sandwich. But I will say, if I had to choose between the two, there ain't no real healthy choice between the two. There ain't nothing healthy about neither one of them. They both fried. Right. They got number bread, French bread on top of it. But I will say that a hot sausage po' boy, a hot sausage, the patty itself, it is a different type of looking po' boy meat. It's an orange patty. It's just like a burger. It's just like a burger, right? But it looks orange before you cook it. When you cook it, it turns into, it looks like a regular patty. You know what I'm saying? It's a little spicy. It's his own type of thing. But I can feel EJ getting mad with me right now describing this shit. But he's like, look, a hot sausage po' boy, you can't get it nowhere else. It's New Orleans all day long. You can't go wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? It's the essence of the city. I get that. But if I had to choose for myself, I'm choosing the shrimp too. So you already know what it is. And everybody else that's watched us, I'm choosing shrimp all day long because I don't want to be on the toilet, praying for the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, I don't want nothing like that, man, that's gonna have me about to calling out for the Lord, man. That shit sounds like it may be pretty spicy, man.
It's good. Trust me. I might be underselling it the way I described it, but trust me, when you eat it, it's one of the best tastes you'll have out of New Orleans. But especially if you go to the right place, the number one thing that makes the best thing that makes a po' boy is the bread. We use French bread. You got to make sure that you go to the right places. Any Danny and Clyde's gas station, because you know how it is in the South. The gas stations be having some of the fire food better than some restaurants. Yeah. So, any Danny and Clyde's, if you can find them, if there's any time savers, that's what's even more rare than that. There's only maybe like a handful of those. But if you get those, get your hot sausage or get your shrimp for certain. And then definitely I want to know if you what you think about it if you ever get a chance. But yeah, hot sausage po' boys is definitely, you can't get that nowhere else. But anyway, man, look, I appreciate you coming through, man. Jock Johnson from the Jock Johnson Podcast. Make sure y'all check out his solo podcast going on right now. I believe you're in the first season of your solo podcast, right?
It's no stop, man. This
No
is
stop. There you go.
There's no stop, man. I'm trying to do like Joe Budden or somebody, man. But seriously, there's no stopping. Just like I did the group show,
Right.
Y'all check the podcast out. I'm available on all your major platforms. The solo show.
No doubt.
Check it out.
No doubt. I'm gonna definitely put the link in the bottom of the description for the show. It's gonna be in the show notes, so make sure y'all check it out so y'all can tap in with Jock Johnson and check out his podcast. He's on all the major platforms. So make sure y'all tap in with him and download the motherfuckers. Just like this episode, make sure y'all download this episode on the motherfucking podcast.com. Get the merch. Jock is repping the motherfucking merch. He's got the original. We don't even sell that motherfucker. Look, y'all. Sorry, y'all.
Fresh. This motherfucker's fresh.
I see, bro. It's making me want to bring back the old logo for that purpose. Look, that motherfucker is fly. I like it. And then it's the all black too, because we had the black and red. You know what I'm saying? We don't have these too many no more, but we definitely got the NOLA edition. Make sure y'all check out the black and white, like the one I got. We might bring back those as a limited edition. But make sure y'all tap in, get the merch. Check out Jock's merch as well. He also got some shirts out there. I got some new shit coming up too, bro. That's what's up. I think you got some mugs too, right? You got to give me a call.
Yeah, I got some mugs, man. But I'm actually working on my website. I'm fixing to bring some new shit out. So y'all stay tuned, man. Some new shit coming.
What's the website name?
It's gonna be dope.
What's the website name?
I hadn't came up with it yet, but I'm working on it. Got somebody who's working on that shit, man, because it's so hard to work on shit like that during the day when you working at 9 to 5. So I got to get somebody to run my day-to-day operations, but it's coming, man, and I definitely will be getting that information out to everybody.
I tell you what,
stay tuned. Support the motherfucking podcast also.
No doubt. I'm gonna get with you offline when we talk about the websites. I got you.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all tap in the motherfucking pod, the Jock Johnson Podcast. You know what I'm saying? The collab finally complete. You heard me? Make sure y'all tap in with this motherfucker. You already know what it is. It's the motherfucking pod.